Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about some vocabulary words that you can use to give deeper meaning to the adjective hot. For this lesson, I've prepared this adjective wheel. At the center of the wheel is this word hot, our focus adjective. So I'm going to talk about several different meanings of this word and give you some more vocabulary that you can use to be more specific in your writing and in your conversations. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start with this part of this adjective wheel. So again, our focus adjective is the word hot, and I'm going to talk about different meanings for it, different senses for this word, different ways to understand hot. So the first one that I want to look at is this part right here. This part focuses on the meaning of high temperature, high temperature. So we use hot to refer to things that are high temperature, and this can be for food or for drink, for objects. It can also be for the weather. So I've chosen a couple adjectives here you can use to talk about these different types of high temperature, hot. First, let's take a look at this word. This is scalding, scalding. So when we say something is scalding, or you might also hear scalding hot, it refers to an object often, and we use it a lot to talk about food. For example, in this sentence, this soup is scalding. This soup is scalding. So scalding comes from the verb to scald, to scald. To scald means something is so hot that it causes like an injury. It causes a burn on the skin. So you might also hear burning or burning hot. This soup is burning hot, you could say. But you might also hear this soup is scalding or this dish is scalding. So something that is so high in temperature, it can cause an injury. That's scalding, scalding. On the other hand, this one, sweltering, sweltering. So sweltering is used to talk about the weather. We use this word when it's very hot outside, of course, high temperature, but also we tend to use it in humid places. So humid, or you might know the word muggy, refers to a weather condition in which there's a lot of moisture, there's a lot of water in the air. So we say it's sweltering when it's very hot, very high temperature, and often when there's a lot of moisture in the air. For example, it's sweltering outside today. So you could describe a summer day with the word sweltering. It's a little more specific, a lot more specific than just saying hot. If you say it's hot outside today, it sounds like, yeah, it's high temperature. But if you say it's sweltering outside today, it means high temperature and maybe there's lots and lots of humidity. So these words are much more specific than just hot. So scalding tells you it might be so high temperature it's dangerous. Sweltering tells you that it's hot and also kind of moist out there. Okay, let's continue to the next part. The next sense I want to talk about for the word hot is spicy, spicy. So we use spicy to talk about food. I want to introduce a couple adjectives that can give you a little bit more of a specific way to explain spicy in terms of food. So a spicy food is pepper. We have this adjective peppery. Something that is peppery tastes like pepper. So it's spicy, yes, but it has like the pepper kind of spice about it. So maybe you know that there are many different kinds of pepper. You can use it for red pepper, black pepper, white pepper, whatever. Peppery is something that you can use to talk about spicy flavors that come from a type of pepper. For example, the steak is a little peppery. The steak is a little peppery. So that means spicy, yes, and that spicy feeling comes from pepper, some type of pepper. Another adjective you can consider is zesty, zesty. So for example, I like this zesty sauce. So zesty is often something that we use in sauces or maybe like in toppings for things. Perhaps it might be like a zesty oil as well. It tends to be used with things that have like some kind of herb or some kind of plant in it with a really strong flavor. So a good example of this might be like cilantro cilantro. Cilantro has a really strong flavor. Some people really like it. And when you combine that with other ingredients, it gets really, really strong. So we might describe that as zesty. Something that is zesty could be considered spicy as well. So you might consider something zesty as a spicy food. Some people, depending on their taste. Okay, on to the next understanding, the next way to understand hot. It is this one here, passionate, passionate. So this is a little bit different from the words, from the sense sexy, which I'll talk about later. Passionate refers to doing something in a passionate way, or something that you have lots of enthusiasm for. So let's take a look at these two words I've chosen. I've chosen inside passionate, inside the sense of passionate, hot. I've chosen lively and furious, lively and furious. We use these words a lot to talk about events, to talk about discussions, debates, these kinds of things where people gather to do something together. So some examples are, they had a furious debate, and we enjoyed a lively discussion after the presentation. Okay, so what's the difference here? These both mean passionate. Lively sounds much more positive. Lively sounds like it's exciting, people are enthusiastic, and they're probably having a good time. Furious, on the other hand, sounds like it's very passionate, yes, lots of enthusiasm, but someone is angry or upset, or they're really not happy. So this, they had a furious debate, sounds like someone was angry or people were upset. In this sentence, we enjoyed a lively discussion after the presentation. It sounds very positive. So you could swap the adjectives if you want to and say like, they had a lively debate. Sounds positive. Or this sentence, we probably wouldn't include they had a furious discussion. In this case, I've included enjoyed, but you could say they had a furious discussion after the presentation, and it would sound very angry. It would sound rather negative. So when you want to talk about something passionate, an event or a discussion that is very passionate, that has lots of enthusiasm, you can do that with words like these. So positive, lively sounds positive. Furious sounds rather negative. Okay, let's continue on to the next sense of this word. The next one is new. New. So when we say that something is hot, like a hot product, for example, it refers to the product being new. Here are a couple more words that you can use to be more specific about your use of new. First is trendy, trendy. So trendy means something that is recent, something that has come out recently, and that many people are interested in because it is a trend, like because companies or because a group of people have said, oh, this is the item for this season, or this is the popular item right now. So it's a trend. Many people want it because it's popular now. It's the thing to buy now. So that's trendy, trendy inside new. Another word that's useful is fresh. Fresh. So you can use this when you're talking about food, like fresh vegetables or fresh fruits. You can also use it to mean something that is new, like a product or a piece of art from someone that has, and it has like this kind of positive meaning, something that is maybe unique in some way. So some examples of this, first with fresh. My favorite singer just released a fresh album. So that sounds like it's brand new, it's totally new, and it sounds kind of positive. It sounds like it's just come out and we're excited about it. So fresh, when you think of fresh for like vegetables or fruits, it sounds really good, right? Like something you want to eat or something that you want to consume right away because it's so new. So we have that same feeling with this kind of fresh that we use for like an album in this case, or a song, this fresh song. You might also hear it called a fresh new song too. They might get put together. So fresh has that very positive like just came out feeling. Trendy, on the other hand, I don't usually buy trendy clothes or accessories. So again, trendy refers to something that is popular just because other people think it's popular. So in this case, I'm saying I don't usually buy trendy clothes. So we use this sometimes to refer to something that is popular at the time, like, oh, that's a trendy fashion item, or wow, what a trendy store, something like that. But trendy also has that meaning of like it's probably going to change soon. Like it's a little bit just for the moment. So something that is trendy is not necessarily negative, though many people do use it to talk negatively, like, that's just a trendy store. I don't want to go there. It's going to go away. So you can use it to talk about things that you think are going to disappear, trends or stores or whatever. But you can also use it just to talk about things that are popular right now. So these are a couple words you can use to more specifically express something that is new. So you might hear hot used in these ways too, like, my favorite singer just released a hot new album. So you might hear it used in that way. Trendy can refer to music or something that is hot right now could be called trendy. Like, oh, that's so hot right now. That would be called trendy. Something that is hot right now is trendy. Okay, let's go on to the last sense of the word hot. So we can use hot to mean sexy when we're talking about people, when we're talking about maybe smells as well. So something that is sexy is something that we find attractive. Usually it's physically attractive, though with our other senses too. We find some kind of attraction in something that is sexy. So a couple of other words that you can use to mean hot in terms of sexy here. You can use the word flirtatious. Flirtatious. Someone who is flirtatious is someone who likes to flirt or they flirt a lot. So flirting refers to kind of chatting very casually with people, making small touches, trying to make jokes and so on. So you're trying to build kind of a little more friendly, like a light romantic feeling between two people. So that's called flirting. When we want to talk about someone who does that or someone who likes to do that, we can describe that person as flirtatious. So for example, he's a flirtatious guy or she's a flirtatious girl. So that means that's someone who flirts a lot or someone who likes to flirt. He's a flirtatious guy, she's a flirtatious girl. So if we could say like, oh, he's a hot guy or she's a hot girl. If we want to be more specific, like why is that person hot or why is that person sexy? Maybe we can say, oh, because they're flirtatious. He's flirtatious, she's flirtatious. So that's another way to describe someone. One more word you can think of is the word seductive. Seductive. So this one is not as light as the word flirtatious. So something that is seductive or a person that is seductive is someone or something that kind of draws your attention. It draws you in. Like a person might act, or like you might smell something or hear some sounds that cause you to feel attraction. So the idea is this person or this thing is trying to cause attraction to happen. So we can describe a person as seductive, like, oh, she's so seductive, or he's very seductive. We can also describe, for example, smells as seductive, like that perfume has a seductive aroma. So it's like the perfume or the aroma of the perfume causes you to feel attraction to the person wearing it because it smells so good. So seductive can be used to talk about people and things. Flirtatious we use to talk about people. So instead of just saying like, oh, wow, like he's a hot guy or she's a hot guy, you could say like, wow, he has a very seductive feeling about him or she's very seductive. So that's a more specific vocabulary word to use than just hot or maybe sexy as well. So these are a few vocabulary words that you can consider to more specifically describe the adjective hot. Of course, there are many, many more words that you can use. You can check out a thesaurus to find some more synonyms. Synonyms means words that mean the same thing. So you can find a lot more synonyms for each of these senses of the word hot. But I hope that this is enough to get you going. So if you have any questions or comments, or if you know some other words that mean hot and you want to practice making some sentences with those, please feel free to leave a comment on this video. Also, if you like this lesson, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and check us out at EnglishClass101.com for some other things that can help you with your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this lesson, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.